Hey everyone, this is Joseph, the BritishBambi. Welcome back to more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and I've got a bit of an excited tone in my voice. I'll calm myself down a little bit, but I hope you're all doing well. Before we get into the video, once again, Discord chat is in the description, as well as my Patreon, which is now set up for roster reviews and coaching sessions. So take a look if you like. Don't feel ashamed if you don't want to. But alas, we are here to talk about one of my, well, probably my favourite character in the game, Jedi training Rey, and this little gal has been kicking ass for me for quite a few weeks now. I was able to get her on the last day of the event. I can't remember what that was. I think it was the 22nd of December, and since then my arena has climbed, my guild was able to do the heroic tank. Everything has just gotten a lot better for me. So let's talk about her place in the meta, what she's great at, and what she's going to be able to do in the future. So let's first go through her ability. She has connected strikes, which basically just does physical damage to an enemy, but damage is increased by 25% following there are certain conditions, and that is if Rey has no debuffs, Rey has any buffs, the target has no buffs, and the target has any debuffs. So say Rey doesn't have a debuff, she has foresight, and the enemy she's hitting has just a debuff, say it's got fracture. So that is meeting all four of those requirements and dealing 100% more damage to this basic. You're pretty much doing around 20 to 22k regarding you meet all of these requirements, which is pretty damn awesome, if I must say so myself. So it's pretty cool as far as basics go, but no 10-minute removal there. I know a lot of people like that on a basic, but otherwise this is just a really strong attack. But not the stellar part of the kit though, that is Defiant Slash, which deals physical damage to a target enemy and inflicts healing immunity for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or resisted, and target other resistance ally, dispel all of their debuffs, call them to assist, and grant them foresight for 2 turns. And this has been working very magical wonders when combined with BB-8, because obviously he has the roll with the punches Zeta, so if you call BB-8 to assist, he's going to cleanse, he's going to gain foresight, he's going to hit, and then he's going to call another resistance that like to hit. So say you've got an arena team which has Jedi training Rey, BB-8 and R2-D2, then you're going to hit with Rey, BB-8's going to hit, and then R2's going to hit, and you're going to get loads of buffs and debuffs just disappear on the screen all at once, and it's going to be really exciting, and it's just a really cool tool to combat those Zeta Barris teams. I've seen Barris decrease and pretty much drop off entirely off of my arena shard. So she's definitely doing her role very well at clearing these Zeta Barris teams. Let's talk about Mind Trick. Now this is actually a 10-meter removal ability, but it also does much more than that. It dispels all buffs on the target enemy, inflicts ability block, daze, offense down, and speed down for 2 turns, and for each debuff inflicted, it removes 10% 10 meter, which can't be resisted, and for each debuff resisted, it removes 20% 10 meter, which cannot also be resisted, and then for each active resistance ally, gain 15% 10 meter, and this attack cannot be evaded. So it's quite a mouthful, but it does quite a lot. Essentially, you're removing all of the buffs on the target, inflicting a bunch, gaining 10 meter, and removing 10 meter all at the same time. If you're going against someone like Commander Luke Skywalker, who kind of have like a very high tenacity, then you might get unlucky and resist he might resist all of your debuffs. But because of that, he's going to lose a lot of 10 meter. I think it's like 4 debuffs that you inflict. Yeah, you inflict 4. So if all of those fail to inflict on CLS, and you are removing 8% 10 meter, while also gaining on average about 45% 10 meter for yourself, which is a very nice treat if I must say so myself. Now her leader ability, which I actually have Zated, when it is Zated, resistance allies have 30% critical chance, 30% critical damage, and when they score a critical hit, they have a 70% chance to inflict expose, which can't be resisted. And resistance allies also gain 10% 10 meter whenever whenever an enemy is exposed. And also, when a resistance ally uses a special ability, anyone with expose will lose 5% 10 meter, and as long as the resistance ally has no debuffs, they will reduce their cooldowns by 1, which is quite a mouthful, but it works wonders. I must tell you, a lot of people are like, who the hell would pick something like this over Finn? You know, we have no need for this. But when it comes to arena, Finn isn't the best leader, so she's definitely doing her part well. But even then, that's not why her kit stops to shine. She has Virtuous Protector, which means whenever another ally suffers a debuff or when another resistance ally gains secret intel, Rey gains 8% turn meter, and when she suffers a, this is with the Zeta by the way, when she gets a debuff, she has a 40% chance to just dispel all debuffs on herself, keeping herself very nice and clean. But even then, without the Zeta, she's still gaining a lot of turn meter. If you have a full resistance team with secret intel, she's going to be getting a nice juicy bit of turn meter every now and then. And also at the start of a arena match, if you have a really fast BB-8 who uses secret intel, she's probably going to be going next. So what it happens is on my arena is it goes BB-8 goes first, uses secret intel, which allows Rey to go immediately, who then calls in R2D2, and then R2D2 has so much speed that he goes next, and then, you know, puts up smoke screen somewhere, which is pretty incredible. And then another Zeta ability which I don't have yet is Insight. So we'll go over the normal version. At the end of her turn, Rey gains Foresight until she evades. If she already had Foresight, she gains critical damage up until she is damaged. The Zeta is also pretty interesting because it's quite a mouthful, but essentially when you have the Zeta, it'll mean that she'll gain Foresight at the start of the encounter until she evades, and when she evades, she will recover 5% health and 5% protection. And if she already had Foresight, she gains critical damage up, and then if she already had critical damage up, she also gains offense up until she's damaged. So you can stack some very nice evade and Foresight abilities, more damage, more stuff going on. It just works very well in the long run. So that was pretty much Rey's kit. At the moment, I've just kind of got her modded for mainly speed, some critical damage, and some potency. It's enough to go on well. So I'm gonna probably cut to some footage now of showing different areas in the game, and I'll probably go talk of them. So let's start with some raids. I think that's a good point to talk about, is her raid viability. So welcome to the heroic tank. Because of Jedi training Rey, I was able to beat this, this whole phase of the tank, phase 3, bit of phase 2 and bit of phase 4, all by myself, which was a first for me, especially coming from characters like Commander Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. I never thought I'd be able to get it because it seemed like I was trying everything I had, but thankfully for me it worked. So let's talk about why it worked well now that I had a Jedi training Rey lead with her leadership Zeta. Well, because of her Zeta, she's giving like we said, a little bit of extra damage to all those resistance allies, which would be BB-8 and R2D2, which is just a little bit of a nice thing. But because when they hit, they're going to have a chance to put out Expose, that combined with turn meter removal whenever resistance ally uses a special is just a little extra safety net. Because especially on phase 3, I find the turn meter removal is so key. That's why people will often run Commander Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and just a load of different people. Tebow as well, on his basic, just stuff like that. But just this 5%, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is an extra safety net, as well as the reducing the cooldowns. Like also with Rey's Mind Trick ability, the turn meter removal, depending on how many abilities were resisted or inflicted, is just another nice safety net. And because of that, combined with calling in R2D2 to assist, getting a bit more damage, R2D2 using smokescreen to keep everyone on stealth, it really allows for you to combine multiple different characters together to get about 32 million. I've seen. I'm in Warriors Discord channel, and a lot of people in there have been using this team and reporting about the same damage, 30 to 32 million, which is really where she shines. And there aren't too many teams exactly built the same way she has. There are some Admiral Akbar leads using a sort of adventurous out there, but this is really sort of the Titan team. Every character in this team has a legendary event, so it's a very hard team to obtain. But once you obtain it, or you have one person in a guild with it, you'll have everyone else benefiting because of it. And that's really why I love Jedi training Rey, because everyone in my guild had really nice phase 2, phase 4 teams. They were already strong in phase 1 for like the last 3 years from what it feels like. But now, because of this single character, the rest of us are able to get the General Kenobi shards and benefit, which is really that's really what it matters at the end of the day, and that's why as a character I value her higher than a lot of other legendary characters. But I also recognize that it's not her independent character that is making this happen. You know, she has to have someone else there to remove turn meter, like Commander Luke. You're using Thrawn to fracture the B2, stopping those counters. R2D2 is probably less valuable in this team. He just sort of does the stealth and the burning, but at the same time he gets his explosives out and he gets called to assist. And BB-8 is just incredible in most raid teams. Like, there's a lot of phase 3 teams out there, but they'll generally use BB-8. So that's really where she's been lying in terms of my raid team. So let's consider her next area of expertise. So let's talk about Rey's arena performance. Now, my arena rank before Jedi Rey was about 90 or 100. I'd sometimes fall out of top 100, but at the moment I'm currently set at number 14 on this 2015 December shard. And there's a lot of reasons for that, or mainly for the reason that BB and Rey just work so perfectly together. Like you see, right now I had a really bad start. They were a bit faster, so they were able to stun my BB-8. So I used Jedi Rey to cleanse BB-8, and while I unfortunately don't have the Zeta on roll with the punches, it was still a good choice, you know, to get him out of that stun and get secret intel going. And I'm also running this team with Old Ben and Thrawn. Thrawn because of that fracture, just to stop, you know, General Kenobi's in their place, and Old Ben because of that, you know, good to have a nice tank, and he puts out so much ability block, and his taunt as well. When he dies, he just busts everyone. It's like a little mini Illuminated Destiny, but you'll see eventually now you can see we're getting a bit faster than the other guys. We're only just getting debuffed by R2D2. Flames is so powerful against a Jedi Rey team because while they have the flame, they're not going to be getting their cooldowns as fast. As you can see, it stopped me there from getting my mind trick a bit sooner. But look at that, already an Illuminated Destiny. And I'm going to put Old Ben in stealth, you know, keep hitting a few other guys like this. General Kenobi is going to try stop me, but it's not going to work. Unfortunately, you can see that the damage isn't magnificent on Jedi Rey's basic, but because of the ability to refresh her cooldowns by 1, as long as she's not debuffed, it's kind of going fast enough as it is. You're going to be using Mind Trick and the other ability so much more often anyway. And looks only 16k, but it's enough to just pass the time until you get the next attack going on. But R2D2 with his 2 specials, you're cycling them constantly. I rarely ever use a basic on R2D2. And look at that, another Illuminate Destiny, destroying what's left of this team. This is a 11th place team, and just the Zeta on R2D2's number crunch and Jedi Rey's leadership abilities. I don't even have the protection on Old Ben, and BB-8 just doesn't have anything apart from his Omegas on Illuminated Destiny. So that was really that team, and this is just really what it's been doing for me. Ever since then, I've just been able to climb immediately, and it's just wonderful. That's why I value this character so high. She's had more of an impact on my arena team than any other character that I've tried to put in. So that's really where she sits, and I love her amazingly for that. As you can see, she's definitely worth the investment, and she's going to be worth that time you put into the veterans and that everyone's going to get in April. That's when I think she's going to come back at least. So that was Rey, her general kit, where she really shines as an individual and in combination with the right tunes. But I mean, that's really where most of the characters stand in this game. No individual character just works by themselves. They still need the right tools and the right combinations to really shine in their respective areas. While yes, when I put Jedi Rey in my team, I jumped up 90 slots into pretty much the top 10, I still had to have the other pieces there waiting to work. Like, if I didn't have BB-8 and R2 geared up as they were, then I probably wouldn't be as high. In fact, when I started with Jedi Rey, I didn't even use BB-8 in the team, and I suffered because of it. It was only because of people on my live stream saying, hey, you should probably put BB-8 in this team. It just kind of works sometimes, and well, okay, they weren't saying that. They're saying you should definitely put BB-8 in this team, and I definitely have. You know, I am thankful for that advice. I don't know why I thought I could get away with it, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. BB-8 is necessary, you know, if not important to making sure Jedi Training Rey succeeds where she needs to succeed. You know, Commander Luke Skywalker as a character did make more of an individual impact, but that's because his kit could fit into most teams. While Jedi Training Rey's, you know, lead is dominating the arena at the moment, it wasn't just her that allowed it, because, you know, a lot of teams still use Commander Luke Skywalker with her, to be fair. And, you know, you're not going to solo the Rancor with Jedi Training Rey. You're still going to use Commander Luke Skywalker for that. You're not going to substitute that. And you're still going to use Finn's leadership when it comes to the player versus enemy environments, you know, phase 2 of the tank. There's still all of these areas where these characters are more important. Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's needed a lot in most of these arena teams. R2 and BB-8, they are essentially the key to making you stay in the arena. If you just had Jedi Training Rey and like none of these other major legendary characters, then you're going to be struggling if you ask me. You're not going to have R2-D2 and his stealth, you're not going to have his burning going off, you're not going to have Commander Luke Skywalker, his turn removal, Grand Admiral Thrawn, his fracture. It's not going to work. I don't know what team you would use, maybe someone like Han Solo, Old Ben, BB-8, and then if you have him, General Kenobi. You're going to struggle a bit still with that. That is pretty similar to the TIE team, but Han Solo over someone like Thrawn or R2-D2, it's just not going to work in the long run. You need R2-D2 and BB-8, and that's why, you know, non-individual character is going to shine, but Jedi Training Rey definitely holds her own in lots of areas in the game, and she is going to be worth it very much. If you work now towards those veterans, and, you know, you're a bit annoyed about the RNG, you're like, oh, God's sake. That's where it's like, I only get 5 goes a day, and I'm not going to be able to get her. But yeah, don't give up just yet. I wouldn't say stress about farming them right now. Get them to both about 6 star or 5.5 if you can for now, and worry about finishing them in March, because I definitely think that she's gonna finish. She's gonna return in April. Maybe we'll have a Commander Luke Skywalker again before that, but she would definitely be a 4-month break, you know, after December. So April is looking likely. So she's definitely worth it. If you have these rest of these characters, you're gonna be able to solo phase 3. You're gonna be destroying your arena. Everything's just going to open up a bit more to you, and you're going to have a really interesting and valuable character. Not someone that will destroy every aspect of the game, but someone that will definitely push you further. And that's why I'm going to give Rey 5 quarter portions out of 5 quarter portions. I just made that ranking up on the spot. But yes, I really love Rey. She's worth it in the end. Obviously, Wales got her mostly this time, pretty much mainly Wales for now, but if you can work towards this character slowly but surely in the long run, you're going to feel comfortable for it. So that was my opinions on Jedi Training Rey, where she's really shined, and why I love her so much. So I hope you've enjoyed this look at the character and seeing her in action. My name is BritishBambi. The Patreon and the Discord are both in the description of this video, and I hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye!